Good have Shabbos, everyone. Parshas Matos Massi, Shabbos Chazak. We complete the fourth of the 5 books, Parshas Sefer Bamidbar, and the Parshas Matos Massi always falls out in the 3 weeks. So the Rebbe spoke about 1991, the final Farbrengen of Matos Massi, connecting the idea of Chazak, the idea that we sort of say strengthen ourselves in a week that's dafka, specifically not our happiest or not our best week, in a week that we're remembering the destruction of the first and second base of Migdash. We're Bein HaMetzarim, we're in the limitations of the 3 weeks. The word Meitzar is limitations, like from the word Mitzrayim, and specifically in every year in that period of time, in this period of time, we say Chazak. Seemingly, one could say, well, that's when we need to be strong. That's when we need to strengthen. When a person's feeling weak, a person's feeling lack of confidence and all that, we need to give a person strength specifically then. But then you're saying basically is that the idea of Chazak is not connected to the time. The time is bad, and Chazak is to strengthen specifically in the weak and bad time, in a moment of weakness. We need strength, and the Rebbe doesn't subscribe to that. The Rebbe says there has to be strength within the Parshas and within the time itself. And we know that Matos, the word Mata, is a staff. Staff is a position of strength. The person is holding a staff. The Parsha starts off by Daber Moshe Rosh Matos, Zeh Hadavar Asher Tziva Hashem. It says Zeh Hadavar Asher Tziva Hashem. Moshe's talking in a way of strength from Hashem. This is what Hashem said, and using the term Zeh, which is like Zeh Kelev Veu. This is my God. All the prophets prophesied with Ko, so said God. But Moshe prophesied with Zeh, which is a stronger level of revelation of godliness. And Parshas Massi, on the contrary, is talking about the travels of the Jewish people. That the Jewish people were traveling. It says these are the travels that the Jewish people traveled from Mitzrayim. And we spoke many times, the Baal Shem Tov's idea, the Rebbe brings it down from the Kutei Torah, that the 42 travels of the desert is like the 42 travels that every person has in their lives. Most of them are going forward, hopefully. Sometimes we have setbacks. But we have to know that we're constantly leaving Mitzrayim, because every time we get to one place and we find harchav, we find broadness, we find that we've accomplished something, we have vayisu, vayachinu, we settle in a certain place. We have to know that that's still limited to what we can achieve, and we go further. And so yesterday's harchav, yesterday's broadness could be today's limitations, until we get to the Eretz Harchav, the land of broadness, which is Eretz Yisrael. And so the Parshas Massi represents also the strength of the avoid of the Jewish people. The notwithstanding all the challenges, and the idea of chazak, like when a person has a chazaka, a person needs to establish a fact, is only when there's someone or a force that's going against that. You say, this is my property, I lived here 3 years. You only need that if someone claims it's not your property. So you use the chazaka against a menagid, against an opposing force. So in our life, in this world, there's many opposing forces. When you have the forces of evil, the forces that destroy the Beis HaMikdash, that want to destroy the Beis HaMikdash. So we have chazak, we have strength to say that no, we're not going to let these things bring us down. We say, Zeh Devar Asher Tziva Hashem. This is what Hashem told us, which is represented in the first Beis HaMikdash. And although it was primarily coming from above down, and therefore it wasn't sustainable possibly in this world. And the second Beis HaMikdash was our avoda, but it was primarily our avoda, the avoda the Baal Tshuva, which is Ezra Sofer, who built the second Beis HaMikdash, the Ezra the scribe. But when you put both together, like Matos and Massi together, you use God's Zeh Davar Asher Tziva Hashem, God giving us the strength. And we have our avoda of Massi b'nei Yisrael. We're traveling, we're fixing things from within, we're engaging with the forces, overcoming those forces, not overpowering them, but overcoming them in a way that we know them, we engage with them, we recognize them, but we are stronger than them, when we build an inner strength to deal with them, so much so that we can transform them. So then it's Dvar Hashem together with the Massi b'nei Yisrael, and that creates Chazak, the third, Benis Chazek, which is like the 2 Beis HaMikdashes together, Batei Mikdashim come together with the third Beis HaMikdash, the coming Mashiach. You take the first and second Beis HaMikdash, you put them together, and you have the third Beis HaMikdash, and that's the Geula Shlema, that's the true redemption. So it may feel like this is a weak Shabbos, it may feel like we're in a position of weakness, but you have to know that we have the strength of Zeh Davar Asher Tziva Hashem. We have our inner strength that we can engage in a situation. We've traveled. We have 42 travels. We go forward, hopefully. So even if it's backwards, it's in maybe in an indirect way. It's building strength that we should be able to get to the land of true broadness, the Eretz Achava, and maybe be Zeicha, in the way of Avas Yisrael, of Avas Chinam, unconditional love, and not pay attention to all the negative rhetoric that's out there, and to be strong and welcoming and waiting for the coming of Mashiach, the car of Mamash with Shabbos.